What's going on, y'all? We are back. We are back at it again, bringing y'all more off-season work. We don't really stop grinding for real. So, as long as y'all rocking with us, we rocking with y'all. We gonna keep the grind going as far as the summer goes. Plus, we gonna talk about stuff that's important, and when important stuff comes up, we kind of just can't miss that. And last week, obviously, we had very important day in the off-season, one of the bigger days in the off-season, outside of the draft and like free agency and that kind of stuff, the NFL schedule release. So we're going to talk about that. But first, want to introduce myself, of course, King Keith. You already know me. Y'all can follow me on Instagram, _ Dr. King Stream. Same thing on Twitter, all that. And I'm going to pass it over to my co-host.
What up, world? It's your girl, CB. You can follow us on TikTok, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, anywhere you get your podcasts, 411 Lions Podcasts on TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, all that. And then you can personally follow me on Instagram at CB Love That. Oh, yeah. So let's get cooking.
Yeah, definitely want to get started here. I know you got a flight to catch, CB. So,
right.
Obviously the schedule release came out. I think everybody's first impression looking at the schedule was, damn. Very difficult schedule. Probably one of the more difficult schedules I think I've seen the team have. The Lions, of course, have what is considered a first place schedule because obviously they finished in first place in their division. So they play a lot of other first place teams throughout the league. And yeah, their division, their schedule it's heavy to say the least, especially the road games. I was looking at this one measure that somebody put up on Twitter of like the most difficult road schedule since like 2000, and yeah, the Lions was like the hardest by far. Like,
really,
their road games are insane this year. And I'll go through the schedule a little bit, but like looking at the road games, I mean, we start with Green Bay, who won, I want to say 11 or 12 games last year. Then we got Baltimore, who obviously really good team, was in an AFC Championship game. You got Cincinnati, who was on the fringe of the playoffs. Obviously got out to a really bad start, but have one of the more explosive offenses in the league. Then you got the Chiefs, which are the Chiefs. You got the Commanders, who we got to see up in person last year, and they've only gotten better in the offseason as far as on paper. You got the defending champs in the Eagles. Then you got the Rams, who were also a division round team. You got the Vikings, who won 14 games. And then you finish off with the Bears, who you just kind of never know with the Bears. We'll see if this is their year. Their fans are always saying it's their year. We'll see if that comes to fruition. But yeah, there's not like a gimme on that road schedule. Sierra, when you hear those teams that we have to go on the road against, what's the first thought?
I would say when I saw the schedule, my first thought was Detroit. There ain't much room for error. That's all I can say. I am excited to play the Eagles. I am excited to play the Commanders. I'm excited to play the Chiefs. Let's see. Rams, of course, we played the Vikings twice. Okay, yeah, I am excited to play the Commanders and the Eagles because we usually don't play them. So I would like to see where we are going into a playoff run because when we played the Commanders, when we lost in I believe the divisional round, it was kind of like the devil you don't know. So I am excited to see more of a challenge with the schedule. There, like you said, those road games, they ain't easy. It's not a lot of room for error. I still have us winning. I still say 12 games now. I know a lot of odds are saying 10. I'm still go 12. I'm still go. We gonna win the division.
Yeah, I think it's still reasonable to expect us to win the division because the other teams in our division don't exactly have an easy schedule either. Ours is definitely the most difficult. But they do play some of these teams as well. Got to play the NFC East and I believe the AFC North, which is just a really, really tough draw for divisions. Then we just kind of get the Chiefs thrown in there because we were a first place team. But yeah, I don't. So I'm looking at the schedule and I'm like, yes, obviously very daunting task ahead of them. But looking at the way that the Lions started the season last year, I think it's really important that they start the season the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You really got to start the season off strong. Because I'm not going to say you got any gimmies in those first few games, but like realistically, the Lions, I think, could easily start 4-1 when you see the Packers, the Bears, the Ravens, the Browns, and the Bengals. You get the Bears and the Browns at home. Those are not gimmies by any means, but those are teams that they should be beating at home. You beat the Packers on the road several times now in the road the past few years. Um, and the Bengals kind of just don't seem to be willing to field a legitimate defense. So you can go 4-1 in those games before you go into Kansas City and have to play the Chiefs, which I mean, even then the Lions have proven they can go into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs. So it's a scary schedule, but at the same time, it looks to me like the Lions had a very tough schedule last year and they were able to go 15-2. I'm not worried. I just think that I would love to see them start off very strong, because when you get to these deeper in the season stretches where you got Chiefs, Bucks, Vikings, Commanders, Eagles, that's like a really crazy 5-game stretch. Like, you got the two teams winning the Super Bowl, you got a 14-win team, you got a team that just beat you to go into the NFC Championship game, and you got the Buccaneers, who are also pretty decent. So
And then you got to handle your division.
yeah, exactly. You got to, and the division game is like smashed right in the middle. And it is a home game. And the Lions have had some success against the Vikings in the past few years as well. And you do get the Giants the week after that, which is one of those few kind of games that the Lions should be heavily favored in on their schedule. But yeah, this is a schedule for sure. You mentioned the Eagles and the Commanders. Are there any other matchups that you really find intriguing?
Mm, I'm going to say definitely the Commanders will be first on my list. I mean, the Chiefs, if they haven't done anything with that offensive line, I think we could be good. We could get Patrick Mahomes on his back a couple times. I am intrigued about the Bengals, though. Obviously, their defense isn't, up to par, but they have a nice offense. They have Chase, Higgins, Burrow. I believe they have a pretty decent tight end. Yeah, I do like that game, but I would say my number one circle game will definitely be the Commanders. They ended our season. We didn't see it coming. I definitely want to see how we do against the Commanders again. I mean, in our division, I believe we swept our division last year, right? We won every game. I believe we did.
No, I think we lost one of those games to Green Bay. We lost the home game on Thanksgiving to Green Bay, right?
Did we? I thought we swept our division. Hold on.
The one loss came to the Bills, and
Yeah, we lost to the Bills.
the other loss I think was to Green Bay, if I remember correctly. Could be,
No,
could
I
be.
think it was It's Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay.
Oh, we did lose to Tampa. Okay, so we did sweep the division.
Yeah, so we Tampa Bay 2016, we were 16. Yeah, we won against Green Bay. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, the interdivision games are definitely very interesting. I think a couple that you pointed out are some that stand out to me. There are three in particular. Um, the Commanders game, obviously, having struggled so much against them on
Oh, and the Ravens.
yeah. So I'm looking at the two teams with the running quarterbacks and explosive offenses. So the Ravens and the Commanders are two games where I'm like, what's the adjustment here? Because we played Baltimore obviously a couple years ago and they completely just blew the doors.
Steamrolled us.
Yeah, absolutely embarrassed us. And then the Commanders kind of did the same thing on offense. Obviously, defensively, we were able to get some things going against them with our offense. But um, those two games in particular, I find really interesting because I want to see how the Lions adjust to dealing with these running quarterbacks who have these explosive offenses. It's been a thing where they just have not done good against the running quarterbacks. And they do fine against the pocket passers, guys that'll give you a little bit of whatever, like maybe make a bad throw or whatever. The Lions take advantage of that. Um, but these teams who are super precise, who don't make mistakes, who have the running quarterbacks that can kind of extend the plays, give the Lions a lot of trouble. And that's why I also have that Bengals game circled.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just interested to see how the Lions defense looks. I think the offense has too many pieces to not at least be good. I know we got a new offensive coordinator. Everybody's like, it's Ben Johnson. We're going to lose the creativity without having him, blah, blah, blah. I just think there are too many pieces on this offense. I think Dan Campbell's a really good coach, and he doesn't get the credit he deserves for what he does on the offensive end as well. But That Bengals game I think will be really, really interesting. And the Ravens, Bengals, and Commanders, we all get on the road.
Yeah, and that Bengals, that Jamar Chase man,
Yeah,
that's a tall task.
it's a tall task, and then you got T. Higgins on the other side as well. Um, it it's a lot, and you got Joe Burrow, a quarterback who just he's one of those guys who doesn't make those same mistakes that maybe a Caleb Williams will throw you one every now and then. A Sam Darnold last year, he would give you some throws where he just kind of misses some stuff. Joe Burrow not missing too much.
He not, but he'll give you a fumble.
Yeah, he'll give you a fumble. The Lions pass rush got to get to him to force that fumble, though, is the problem. But yeah, the Bengals are very one dimensional. We know it's a heavy, heavy pass game. Their run game is all right, but their offensive line is anything to write home about. And their defense is just kind of whatever. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Even their best player right now on defense is not interested in playing for the Bengals right now. So, but I want to see how the Lions match up defensively against these teams in the first few games. The division games, again, I'm not too worried about because the Lions just seem to have those teams number. So the Bears, the Packers, the Vikings, they'll be good matchups for sure. And I'm sure one of those teams will find a way to steal a game against us. But those games against those explosive, out of division teams, out of conference teams, teams that they don't play a lot, those will be very, very, very interesting.
Oh yeah, to say the least. I mean, in our division, I think we can do another sweep based on the draft, based on our roster. I mean, our roster is still. I mean, anybody can count the Lions out if they want to with only 10 wins, but our roster is still constructed as number one, trench heavy. Number two, one of the best in the NFL. Pretty much every position wise, I think we can hang with pretty much everybody. We'll see about the Eagles. We'll see about Commanders. We'll see about the Ravens. Those kind of explosive teams on offense, and then I believe Commanders have a decent defense. I don't think
Uh,
it's that great.
Yeah, it's capable. And they've made a lot of moves in the offseason as well on both sides of the ball. So they'll be an interesting team to watch because I could see them coming back down to earth a little bit, or I could see them really like taking the next step.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that Commanders game. I definitely we got to get some revenge now. We can't let them end our season and they come in and you know win in the regular season. But I will ask you this: if we finish first in our division, NFC North, who do you have second?
It's so tough because I don't believe in Green Bay at all. I just am not. I don't think that they're fine. They're a good team. They have some good players. I think Jordan Love's a little bit overrated. I think their run game can be a little bit inconsistent. They drafted a wide receiver in the first round, but I don't know if Matthew Golden is going to be like some kind of game changer per se. He was very inconsistent at Texas, even showed up in big games, but was very inconsistent. I don't know if I believe very much in the Packers. I don't. I don't think their defense can do much with the Lions either. Um, Minnesota is really, really good, but
This quarterback.
I'm a huge, huge believer in JJ McCarthy. But is it this going to be like first year? Is he just going to like pop off like that? I don't know about that. He's extremely talented. As he gets time, as he gets comfortable, I think he's going to really break out. But is this going to be the year that he breaks out? Do other elements of Minnesota's team scare me? I mean, obviously they have a really good passing game, but their defense creates the turnovers, blah blah blah, well coached. But I think individually, the players don't scare me very much on their defensive side either. I would probably lean Minnesota. Last year, I thought Chicago was going to do something, and they didn't. And obviously now they got the head coach that they stole from us. I don't know what it is with Chicago. Like it's very much a wait and see kind of game. Like I'm not willing to go out on the limb and be like, oh, this is the year for the Bears. The Bears are going to break out. They got all these guys. They can. They might. But I'd probably have to go Minnesota as the second team in the division. And then Green Bay and Chicago can kind of fight it out. I think everybody's good, but if I had to guess, I think it will probably go Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think I had the Bears, I believe last or third last season.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I see him taking a step up. I see him. I see it's going to be, I think it's going to be the Bears and the Vikings fighting it out for second. I'm not exactly sure who I want to lean towards. Obviously, with the Vikings going, 14-3, whatever, last year, um, that defense did look good, except against us, that second game. But I guess I'll have to lean Vikings. From what I've seen, I'll have to lean Vikings for now. But that quarterback, McCarthy, obviously he's our guy, but with that injury, not playing the first year, is he going to come off rusty? Is he going to come off kind of hitting all cylinders?
It's
That's going to be the determining factor on the Vikings for me.
it's going to take time for sure for McCarthy, but do remember that he did play the preseason last year. And I thought he looked really good in the preseason. He definitely made some throws that it's like, oh yeah, like this is legit. Like the arm is legit, the athleticism is legit. Can't read the defense though. Sometimes he will make a mistake or a misread. And that'll happen. And I think that'll probably cost the Vikings a little bit, but I think they do have probably the second best defense in the division because I'd still lean towards ours being the best defense in the division, but I think the Vikings are second in my opinion. And I think that'll help carry them. Obviously, they got elite wide receivers and things like that. So, yeah, I think that they're probably the second team. But I will say, I don't think that this is going to be one of those divisions like last year where this team wins 15 games, this team wins 14 games, this team wins 12 games. I don't see that this year at all. I don't know if we'll have a single 15 game winner in the division. Obviously, the Lions can, but like this schedule is going to make it really hard to win 15 games this year. I think 12 games probably wins the division.
Okay, so with us more so predicting around 12 wins, who do you have us losing to?
Looking at this schedule, I see a loss to the Ravens. I think a loss to the Chiefs. One of these Packers games, I think Jordan Love is just going to do what Jordan Love does. It has like a random crazy game. So I see losses to those three teams. Outside of that, I don't know where I see the losses, but I'm a hang three up for now, and I'm gonna hold off because I'm looking at the other teams and I'm like the Cowboys could bounce back, but will they? Steelers don't scare me. The Rams are a very difficult team, but do I think we're going to lose to them? No, I just think it's going to be one of those tight fought battles. Um, if McCarthy really breaks out, I can see the Vikings taking one from us. I can see the Bears taking one from us. But right now, I'd say Ravens, Chiefs, um, one to the Packers, and probably one to the Bears or Vikings, depending on which team kind of falters more. Um, so I'm thinking probably 13-4 right now.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's see. I have us losing to the Ravens, the Eagles, Commanders.
Mm.
I think we can steal from the Chiefs if that offensive line has not improved. I see us sweeping the division though. I see Rams, Commanders, Eagles. Do we play Tampa Bay? No.
Yes, at home though.
I see Tampa Bay. That's what we lost to the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that Eagles one stands out to me because I think the Lions match up kind of well against the Eagles. I do. Um, Hurts can run, but like it's not his thing. Like he's not like the Jada Daniels, Lamar Jackson, where he's just like zipping all over the place. The
That
Eagles,
offensive line is nice though.
they do have a good offensive line. I think it would probably be a high scoring game. Obviously, I just think that the Eagles defense can feast on teams like the Chiefs, who for one had a bad offensive line, which the Lions don't have a bad offensive line. Obviously, one of the better offensive lines in the league. And the Lions got so many weapons that I think they kind of just can offset some of what the Eagles like to do with the aggressiveness and the attacking and coming downhill. I I just think the Lions match up well. I think the Eagles rely pretty heavily upon the deep ball and the contested shots, and I think that the Lions got a lot better with covering the deep ball last year. And I think that having Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch and pretty decent corners on the outside, I think they could limit AJ Brown. So I don't know. I think the Lions match up pretty decently against the Eagles. I just kind of get that feeling. Even a couple years ago when the Lions had like their breakout season, but like they didn't make the playoffs and they were like 9-8 or whatever. They played the Eagles that first game and they lost. But they played them very, very, very close. Mind you, this is like a completely different Lions team that wasn't nearly as good. And they played them really, really, really close. So something tells me that the Lions will match up pretty well against the Eagles versus some of these other teams.
Yeah, but the Eagles has, I mean, obviously the good wide receiver core, good quarterback, run game with Saquon Barkley, which we are pretty good at stopping the run game. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
give them that. The Eagles have a good offensive line, defensive line. Mm,
They're
I,
kind of
I,
like,
I could see us losing.
yeah, they're kind of like us. Very much a balanced team, a team that's kind of hard to necessarily find a weakness in. Um, their defense played really, really good last year. I don't know if they're that good, like as good as they played last year. The pass rush kind of propped things up, and I know they lost some guys in the offseason. I don't know. I think that Quayon Mitchell, Toledo Rocket alum, obviously love Quayon Mitchell, but
Oh,
do I think that he's doing much with the Lions wide receivers? I don't know. Um, yeah, I can see the Lions. I can see the Lions beating the Eagles. I just think that the Lions match up really well against the Eagles. Like it's kind of strength versus strength. And I think the Lions play really good in those kind of games. I think that when the Lions find a team that can exploit their very specific weaknesses, running quarterbacks, that's when they start to struggle. And again, Hurts can't move, but he's not like those guys.
right. Well, yeah, I mean, I still see us losing. I wish we could have played them last year. That would have been nice.
I agree. I think that us versus them in the NFC Championship game would have been a game to remember for sure.
Yeah, so I'm definitely I definitely have that game circle. Let's see, what day did we play them?
Oh, so no, November 16th.
Oh, the 16th. Oh, and then there's a game on my birthday, the Rams. So Lions give me a good birthday present. Y'all do that December 14th, well 25.
Yeah, it's so interesting also to see the amount of primetime games on this schedule as well. Like you got the Ravens in prime time, you got the Buccaneers in prime time, you got the Chiefs in prime time. You got the Eagles, the Cowboys, I think is a prime time one. It's Cowboys. Obviously the Packers on Thanksgiving. Um, yeah, it's a lot of primetime games. Really not a lot of 1 p.m. games for the Lions, which just almost feels weird. It's like a handful of 1 p.m. games here.
Yeah, because everybody notices now they know we them boys, so
Yeah.
they definitely giving us better time slots, whatever the case may be. But yeah, because even our first game, yeah, is 4:25. I was about to say, I thought our first. So our second game is 1 p.m. against the Stanking Bears.
Uh-huh.
I would like to see. I'm glad we get to play Cleveland Browns. I want to see what that kid Shador Sanders is about. If they let him start, I don't know who's gonna be starting.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm a big believer in Shador. I don't know if he'll be starting at that point of the season, but I think
Yeah, I like to see.
at some point I think he'll be the guy. Now, will he have a good time against the Lions defense? I don't really think so, but um you never know. You never know. I think that the quick passing game works better against the Lions defense versus trying to hold on for deep shots. So, um
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun game. I definitely September 28th. I definitely want to see what Shador brings if he plays first, or if they put the other guy first, the other quarterback they drafted, which I don't know why
it's
they drafted two, but whatever. I don't know.
I think it'll be Joe Flacco starting the season, to be honest, unless he just looks horrible in camp.
Oh, you think it'd be Joe?
Yeah, I think it'll be Joe Flacco. They'll probably go with the veteran, but once their season goes downhill, which I'd be shocked if it doesn't, um, they'll probably go with one of the young guys. But the guys, you can tell on social media and all that, everybody is very much believing in Shador, and that's the guy they want to see, which is very interesting all the players are like, yeah, Shador, we got Shador. Then when they go to Dylan Gabriel, oh yeah, he cool too.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how Sanders plays because I mean, a lot of the NFL execs or whoever got him counted out, but I mean, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting to see what he really does, what he really brings to the table. It's definitely gonna be fun to see that kid play. I wish we played Jacksonville. Bless you.
Ooh,
You got
excuse
COVID.
me.
It'll be fun to see. I wish we would have played Jacksonville to see that kid Travis Hunter because I got
Oh,
my eye on him too.
yeah, he's gonna he's gonna be good. Like you could just kind of tell, and it's funny because he hasn't really played wide receiver full time. So once he really gets to work on being a wide receiver more than a corner, he's gonna take off. And then he got Brian Thomas on the other end, who was fantastic last year.
Oh yeah, top 10 pretty much.
Yeah,
I'd put him.
he was excellent. He was absolutely excellent. So yeah, that's one of those teams that should be good, but probably won't.
So messy.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite draft pick of besides our players, of course. But Travis Hunter is probably my favorite draft pick. I really like that kid. I like his energy. So definitely excited to see him play. But all in all, I think the Lions will still take the division.
Yep, same here.
Take
Same
it
here.
in the division. So the season kicks off for the Lions September 7th, 425.
Yep, at Green Bay, which I think is a good start. I love the fact that they can get some
So
of these
long away.
these cold weather games, getting some of these cold weather games out the way early. Like I love that they don't have to go to Green Bay in December or January.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
looking at the schedule, it really only looks like Washington and Philly. It could be cold in November, but it's like early November. Really, just the Chicago game at the end of the season is the only one that'll, for sure be a cold weather game. Everything else will be at least lukewarm. Which I don't think the Lions are incapable of playing in cold weather. A lot of people are like, well, why are we worried about cold weather? I don't think that they're worried about it. I just think that they probably would play better on a warmer surface. With the way that their offense is more explosive and the speed and all that kind of stuff, it just plays better in those kind of settings. But the Lions can play a cold weather game. They can get in the trenches. They can run the ball, stop the run, do all those things as well as anybody too.
Yeah, we played them January 4th. Woo, it's gonna be cold. I just came back from Chicago Soldier Field with the Beyonce concert.
Mm-hmm.
That stadium not better than Ford Field though, but
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. But
different.
yeah, definitely excited for the season. It looks like for right now, both our predictions are that the Lions win the division. We'll see what training camp and all that kind of brings, what kind of storylines come up. But we're excited. We're very excited. I definitely want to try and get to one of these games as well. I don't know. Maybe the Philly one potentially I could go to.
Right now, let's talk about that because that's the elephant in the room. And I know the Lions, everybody's on them now, but them ticket prices, man. Ford Field, NFL, y'all done priced us out, okay? And I don't
Yeah,
like it.
yeah. It's not.
I don't like it.
It's not okay. I mean, I get it. Obviously, really good team, and especially like for what the expectations usually are for the Lions, everybody wants to get to see them play because they never really are at this level. Um, but it's just not like I don't know. I don't know what you can do about it because there's not much you can do about it. But like I don't know, you got to go see the Lions on a road or something. Like, I just don't understand. Season ticket prices, everything is high. Like there's just no way around it right now. It's not.
Yeah, it's really not. I just don't like how they priced out Detroit residents. Well, people that are born and raised in Detroit and from the city, and it's like, damn. I looked one of the games because some of the tickets came out. To sit in the back is $400.
Yeah, yeah.
Highest ticket I saw was right in the front, I believe, VIP or whatever, $17,000.
Yeah, like they just
Damn.
they just charge you anything. They gonna get their money off this. They said, look, we good for once, we gonna get some money off this. But also some of it is inflation, economy, blah blah blah, whatever. It's just kind of ridiculous. But I mean, looking at the schedule, I feel like your birthday being on December 14th, LA might be a worthy trip and those tickets are usually cheap because the Rams are not that popular in Los Angeles.
Oh,
So
you want to set that up? You want to do that?
I mean, we could.
You know what? LA, here we come, boy.
It might be more Lions fans than Rams fans in there.
I'm okay. We on the Rams thing right now. Yeah, hey, that's not actually a bad idea. We can do like a little 3-day, 4-day trip in LA.
Yeah, no, I'm down for that. That'll probably be like I said, the cheapest that you're gonna find on here. Maybe I don't know what DC ticket prices typically look like. Cincinnati might not be bad either for you. Not a far drive.
Oh yeah, Cincinnati. What day do we play them?
Early October 5th, October
October
5th.
5th.
Yeah.
Right, because if I do Cincinnati, we could find a haunted house to go there too.
Oh, here you go.
Guys, I am a huge fan of haunted houses. We go to two every year. That's what we do.
She likes haunted houses because she's a creep.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, but we'll go ahead and play this offline. We'll go ahead and cap it off. But definitely appreciate y'all, listening, checking it out, getting information. If there's any questions that y'all have for us or anything that we can do, always let us know. We're always willing to share the info and make sure that y'all are up to date on all the Lions related information. So we'll keep it going. But signing off is King Keith. CB, take it away.
Alrighty, that is today's episode. You can follow us again on TikTok, Amazon, anywhere you get your podcast, 411 Lions. Hit us up. We'll be back in a couple weeks. Peace.
Peace.